Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today. You know, we're in such crazy times right now, and I'm sure you can relate. For so many of us, it has been months and months, it seems like a year, since we've been able to visit some of our close friends and family that are seniors. And we have friends in particular that are a little on the age side that we've been being very careful not to expand the bubble and have dinner with them. We always go back and forth from one house to the next. And that's been now, I don't know, maybe about 7 months. But today, I am gonna be able to be at the table with them, but not in the physical way. I'm gonna be at the table with them in the sense that I am preparing a few of their favorites that they enjoy, and I'm gonna drop off dinner to them. It's not the same as when my wife and I will sit down and we'll have a nice evening together, but at least this is a way that we can still share some of the tradition of what we do. And in these times, we don't know how long it's going to be for, so we just want to make the most out of what we can. Two favorites that I'm doing: one loves seafood, one loves chicken. I'm doing chicken wings in a really crispy style that he enjoys, and I will be making that up. And then on the seafood side, I'm going to do prawns, scallops with a cilantro, lime, butter, garlic sauce. They should be absolutely wonderful. We're going to do corn, broccoli, and cauliflower, just steam nicely, and then finish it off with some garlic mashed potatoes. I'm not doing any dessert because probably by the end of that meal, they should be quite full. These are going to be my fancy plates that I'm going to drop things off, and so we're not going to be making anything pretty and taking pictures of at the end of the video. But these little containers are excellent for keeping food warm. You can put tin foil over top. It'll be perfect for leftovers the following day for them as well, and it transports really easily. Now, the thing that's going to take the longest is the wings. And the wings we always cook are the full ones, so not just the drumettes or the other flat piece. This is the entire wing, including that little end part or the tip of the wing. And the secret to cooking really good wings is to start them very slow. So I've got an oven that's heated up right now, just 300 degrees. I normally cook a lot of my foods in really high heat ovens, but we're going to start at 300. And what I'm trying to do is cook it slowly, get all the moisture to come out and be released and evaporate. And then as that happens, I'm going to start to increase the temperature to about 350. And then they'll slowly start to turn brown. We'll flip them a couple of times. There's parchment paper on the bottom. Parchment paper, I don't know what it's made of. Nothing sticks to parchment paper. So if you put them down, you don't have to worry about any cleanup or pulling some of the wing or skin away when you're trying to flip them over. Little salt and pepper I've got on there right now, and that's it. They're ready to go in the oven. Now, a lot of times if I'm cooking for a video, I can do it in different stages. Today, I'm actually going to be cooking everything sort of all together at once because, well, I want it to all come off warm, go into the containers, and being able to drop it off. So there's going to be a little bit more commotion going on today, so bear with me as we cook. This is going to be more realistic to what would typically happen inside my kitchen with a few things on the go. I'd like to walk you through a little bit of the prep that I've done in advance so that everything can come out at the same time. Potatoes are just peeled, they're in a pot of water, waiting to get turned on. What I'm going to do is when I'm gauging that the wings are about 30 minutes away from being ready, I'll turn the potatoes on. They'll get boiling. They're in smaller sized chunks, so it'll take less than 20 minutes to get them cooked. For the carrots, corn, and broccoli, I have them in a ½ an inch of water, just enough to allow them to steam. We'll put a lid on there. About 10 minutes before everything's ready, we're going to turn up the heat to high. It'll start to steam as soon as it starts boiling rapidly for about 5 minutes. We're going to turn off the stove, put it off to the side, 5 more minutes of sitting, and that'll be ready perfectly. When it comes to vegetables, especially some that might get heated up and eaten later, you don't want to overcook them. So if anything, make sure you go on the underside. That way you'll have a perfect vegetable on the dinner plate later on. For sauteing the prawns and scallops, we're going to use a large frying pan, and we're going to use clarified butter. So clarified butter is butter where you have cooked out the milk solids in the water. Butter actually is full of water and milk solids, and that's why often if you put butter into a hot frying pan, it'll quickly turn brown and start to burn. To clarify butter, you just warm butter at the lowest heat on the stove, whether it's in a frying pan or inside a pot. The milk solids will come up to the top. The water at the bottom will slowly bubble until it's evaporated. You skim off the top curds, and then what you're left with is just the pure butter oil, the clarified butter, and that can take a really high heat, which means that you can cook prawns and scallops very high, and that will trap the moisture inside the prawns rather than having it come out into your pan and you end up steaming them instead of actually frying them and getting that nice color to it. The other thing I do with the prawns and scallops is I will layer them in between paper towels so they remove all the excess moisture so they're very dry when they go into the pan. We're going to use some garlic, we're going to use a whole bowl of cilantro, and we're going to use the juice of 2 limes, including the zest on the outside. So I've got a small grater, we'll take off the zest. The zest has a lot more intensity than just the juice, and it will have a wonderful springy citrus flavor to it. When it comes to the garlic mash, we'll mash up the potatoes, and we're going to saute ahead of time some garlic in some butter. We have a whole bowl of chopped parsley, that'll go in right at the end. And then my secret ingredient, sour cream. 2 tablespoons of sour cream, or 2 tablespoons of sour cream right at the end mixed in. I'm not sure what it does exactly from a scientific point of view, but it allows you to reheat potatoes the next day without them getting all clumpy. Whenever I use a sour cream, they always come out perfect, especially if you're going to use them the next day. Now everything is starting to come together in perfectly fine fashion. The wings are close to being done. We got the potatoes boiling. I've got butter heated up right now for the garlic mash. I'm going to add the garlic into there right now, and we're just going to let that saute. The garlic looks like it's ready, so I've turned the stove off, and I'm just going to let that stay warm until it's time to add to the potatoes. Okay, my fry pan is nice and hot. I'm going to start adding clarified butter in. There we go. Let's just let that get nice and melted. We can add the garlic in here now. I wish you could smell that coming out there. Garlic and butter go together so well. The smell is absolutely wonderful any time of the year. All right, let's get our prawns and our scallops in. These aren't going to take very long at all. Maybe 6-7 minutes, and that's it. Now, doesn't that seafood just look amazing right now? It's time to add the lime juice from 2 limes that I squeezed, and also the zest. Let's put that in. Let's add the cilantro. And that's it. We're going to turn the stove off. And there. Absolutely perfect. The potatoes are just about done. I'm going to drain the veggies now and put them in their dish. Now let's pull out the wings and see how we did. Oh boy, would you look at that. This is exactly how my friend likes them, nice and crispy. They're all rendered down. They're going to have a wonderful crunch to them. Now, we better go drain the potatoes now. The potatoes are drained. I've let them steam out a little bit. A lot of times when you put them through the colander, there's still some moisture on there. If you give them a few minutes just to let the steam come off, you won't have a bunch of water in there. So I'm going to go ahead and start to mash. Okay, I've got them fairly well mashed. I'm going to take the garlic and butter, and I'm going to put that inside. There we go. Don't want to miss out on any of that garlic. Then let's add a couple tablespoons of sour cream. There we are. And we can go ahead and add the chopped parsley right now. And that's just going to wilt as we finish getting it all stirred around. The smell of the garlic, the smell of the parsley, that is a beautiful mashed potato. You don't need special occasions to have garlic mash. It actually should be something that you have more commonly. Garlic is so healthy for you. And I'm adding in the parsley, but you could you could just as easily put in some diced kale or another vegetable and just brighten it up a little bit. Okay, one more stir with a spoon, and just look at that. Isn't that tempting? Well, there we have it, dinner for two. I'm gonna get some tin foil on top of this, run this over to my friends, and then I'm gonna come back and get cleaned up in the kitchen. Thank you very much for joining me in the kitchen today. This is a special day for me because it is nice to be able to, cook for someone that's a good friend, and I know they'll enjoy it. I hope you get to spend time with the ones that you care about and you love, and we'll look forward to seeing you the next time in the kitchen. Please click subscribe now for my newest cooking videos. A printable recipe and ingredients list can be found on my blog page. You'll find the link in the video description box. Thank you and have a great day.